Jake being one of the premier players in our county speaks volumes.
Are you the all-time rushing leader at North Surry?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yardage, touchdowns, all that.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Remind me again of the game where you had the most touchdowns this year. How many touchdowns was that?
I mean, Wilkes Central, I think I had 5.
Your grades are really good, right? I think I read that too.
Yeah. I was like a 4.1 GPA.
Well, that's awesome. I guess you take honors classes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so talk about how you're prepared as a player, as a student to go to the next level in college.
Well, I think it's something my parents really harp on a lot, is just keeping that up, because I think it helps you out a lot if you don't have any trouble getting any grades going somewhere. I think that's something they made a priority so much. You kind of do it yourself every time. You kind of see yourself and you keep up with it without having to have somebody stay on you about it.
Well, what is that like to sign with a Division I team like Charlotte? It
really shows you everything you've put in and stuff, and everybody helps you out, like Coach Smith, my parents, stuff like that. It really shows you it's really worth it. All the work you put in since you were little, and I mean staying after school in the summer, whenever kind of everybody else is swimming and pool and stuff, you kind of have to tell yourself to kind of sit back and you gotta have priority and stuff, and watch it all play out like that is pretty cool.
Jake, what are you looking forward to playing football at Charlotte?
I think just getting the chance to go out and just really prove myself. I think that people may have you play a small school, I guess, and had success. But I think going out there and having the chance to really play against people watching TV, I think I've really set myself apart up there with the opportunity like that. I can't thank him enough for what he's done. His contributions to this program obviously are going to be in a record book forever, and that's great, as North Surry's all-time leading rusher and all-time leading rushing touchdown record. But I think the ripple effect that he's had in this locker room is going to last a lot longer than those records, and that's something I'm very grateful for. I tell people that it's pretty impressive. I feel like our county, with athlete to population ratio, we are up there with some of the best talent in the state, and that's a credit to all the other head coaches in our county. I had the pleasure for working for Monty Southern, and he does a fantastic job at Surry Central, and JK at Mount Airy has, produced, a lot of great talent, two ACC football players this year, and other guys that will probably sign a dotted line, and then Trent Lohman has done a fantastic job in Pilot Mountain, and the success that he's had getting guys to the next level, is something that inspired me when I got into this job, is to do whatever I physically can do to help put our guys in positions that, if they want that opportunity to play after their 4 years here, we want to do everything in our power to help them reach their goals. And so, like I said, to have a county with so much volume of talent, for Jake to be a premier guy, I think just speaks volumes to his work ethic, his humbleness. He's a guy that I think we've had a lot of conversations, and you start off the season 1-3 in non-conference play, and as a head coach, you kind of, in the preseason, you go through your head about possible scenarios, and 1-3 was definitely a possible scenario. We knew that preseason. That obviously wasn't what we set out to do, but we knew that was a possible scenario. But we also knew that 6-0 in conference play was the possible scenario. So, I was very interested to see had we made that growth as a program and as a culture, that we weren't going to be worried about 1-3, and that we were going to play week in and week out. And our tagline in the locker room was 1-0. This week we just want to go 1-0. And there was a moment after the West Oaks game that I kind of let the floor be player led, and Jake stepped up and had some words to say. I think that resonated with the rest of the program, and I think that set the tempo for how we wanted to finish the last 7 weeks of the season. And that's a credit to him and his leadership, and it's a credit to the other guys in this room that committed to that vision and wanting to go out and still win a conference championship and win 6 straight.
Jake, your perspective of this season, winning conference title, going to playoffs as a player?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun to do it with people you like hang out with all the time. I think that's the biggest difference. Like last year, my year before, we were close, but like this year, I think we hung out a lot more, and it's fun to do that with people you like care about and love. And I think you have a not a great start with the out of conference, and you kind of sit down and you're like, we're not gonna let this isn't gonna be us this whole year. So kind of turning that around with guys you really care about it's really fun, and then to have it all work out the way you want it to, it's definitely worth it. Definitely feels like you did something that was meaningful.
I was so happy that our guys got to taste evidence of their hard work because, like I said, it's been 2 years of hard work, and it takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of devotion, a lot of time and effort in order to put yourself in a position to win a conference championship. And I think a big transition for us was Jake's group really took lead and took pride in the fact that they wanted to make sure that North Surry was a player-led program and not a coaches-led program. We firmly believe that that's the best method of success. And so any way that we can propel or put our guys on pedestals so that they can be leaders and have ownership in the program, we try to do that, and they really bought into that idea. And it started with Jake, and it was one of those things that after the 22 and 23 season, I sat at the time juniors that were rising seniors down, and I explained to them the steps I felt like we needed to take in order to be a competitive football team in our conference, and they ran with it, and like I said, made it their own, and that was really cool to watch. Young men really kind of develop into independent leaders and working for a common goal, and them learning some really good management skills as to we asked them to help us manage the program. That's their role as seniors and as leaders on this football team, and I thought they did a great job of that from the time spring ball started through summer workouts and into in-season play. I was really proud of their growth. Coach Daniel Drawn does a great job with our strength conditioning program. We've had a lot of fantastic folks be a part of that program. Tyler Hyatt did a fantastic job helping us get these kids ready to perform, and as well as Beth Hodges and her day-to-day, our head softball coach. So we have a phenomenal group of people in that department that do a great job, and I think it's just one of those things that it takes time to develop these guys so that they're at a peak performance level so they can go out and try to win football games. As for the staff standpoint, we had a little bit of turnover. We had some moving pieces a little bit. Will Hodges came in as our offensive coordinator. This was his first year calling plays, and he did a phenomenal job of taking a system that me, him, and Tanner Hyatt kind of try to create a melting pot a little bit of what we've done in the past, and then we let him take the reins on it and let him evolve and let him make it his, and he did a great job of that, of putting our guys in positions to be successful, and then that was really kind of our only turnover. We also brought in Chris Johnson, who I've known from my past for quite some time, but bringing him in and him working with outside linebackers and letting him handle the special teams was really beneficial for our program. So like I said, we had an addition there, but most of the staff was retained for the most part. I felt like we were more comfortable as a staff in year two, had an understanding. We all had a vision together, and just try to come up with ways to go out daily and execute and prepare our kids to be as successful as possible. Here at North Surry, when I first got this job, I wanted to make sure that our community and our staff knew that we were going to prioritize every level of football that we can impact. And JV is a vital piece to developing guys to be ready to win on Friday nights. And we've been blessed to go 16-3 on JV over the last 2 years. That's something that we take a lot of pride in. And like I said, getting those guys confidence, getting those guys a year in the system where they understand what it takes to win, I think is crucial, before their deliverance to varsity. Sometimes it's out of your hands. Sometimes there's guys that just make immediate impacts, and you know, but for the most part, we've been able to keep a majority of our roster down to play, you know, at least 3/4 of a year on JV and let them get their feet wet in varsity or in high school football before they make that jump to varsity, because there is a big change from middle school to high school, from scheme and speed of the game and stuff of that nature, that we feel like it's optimal for kids that, if at all possible, play some JV football, and we've been able to do that, and I feel like that's been a real key to our success that maybe people don't see on the day-to-day.
Coach Smith, anything you want to say about what you're looking forward to with North Surry football going forward?
Yeah, I mean, we're really excited as a staff. I feel like the kids are excited. I think that's a blessing. You know, you hear kids talk about how excited they are for next season, and you don't take that for granted. You know, but what I'm excited to see, because I do know that there is a much larger hurdle when you are expected to win. And now there's an expectation to win, and that's something that we all strive for. But there is no sneaking up on anybody. We're going to get everybody's best game, and we look forward to that. And we know that that's going to require us just to continue to raise the bar here, and that's what me and my staff strives to do every single day. I can't describe how fantastic that coach's office is. With a bunch of men committed to making North Surry football as great as it can be, and positively impacting the young men in this locker room on a day-to-day basis. So, you know, we're going to continue to do that, and we're excited for the 2024-2025 season.